This is a beautiful area of this park. It gives the illusion of being in the depths of the countryside. You know, it's obviously very much here by design. And you know, you're literally just a stone's throw from the classic open park as it is over there. I love this little couple of 100 yards that are off the beaten track, but there's a bit at the top here that attracts young people smoking weed, drinking, doing what young people do. And at the moment there's just a load of human detritus collecting. Kebab packets, polystyrene burger cases, you know the shit that I'm talking about. And it makes me think about all of that stuff that over the years we pontificate about, saying that we're at odds with people and aren't they disgusting, and they just are. You know, there's a lot in the world that is so beautiful and is proving itself to be just that at this point in time. There are people out there prepared to put their lives on the line to help other people. Not just medical staff either, all sorts of people out there are putting their necks on the line to keep this world ticking, keeping us all alive and well and able to go on to the best of our abilities with really, really minimal interruption. And there are people out there who can't even be bothered to find a bin after they've eaten. I can remember it occurring to me once. I was in the dole office when I was signing on at a time where I was unemployed, and some guy was late, and they were saying, well, why are you late? Oh, my alarm went off late and I couldn't get here in time. And that morning I'd been watching a documentary on a very average person who'd ended up piloting the space shuttle, you know. And I just thought there is the ability in this world for people to exit the atmosphere, to leave the stratosphere, go into space. And there are also people who can't even get on a bus by 9 in the morning to go for a meeting at the unemployment benefit office, you know. Some juxtapositions out there that make human beings incredible and incredibly annoying all in the same sentence. Reminds me of what I still think of as being that Sunday night feeling. I can remember as a child, and I really need to remind myself of this sometimes. My dad worked in horticulture, and you know, the word when I was a kid was on duty. He was in charge of just going over to where he worked sort of a couple of times a weekend, usually about sort of 4 hours work over the weekend in all, I guess, to uncover the plants in the morning. You know, and this was massive scale market gardening. You know, you had to just check everything was ticking along okay once every couple of weeks or once a month maybe, you know, where one employee there, it's their job to be there on duty at the weekend. My dad had one of those tradesman's bikes with a big basket on the front. He used to take me with him in that basket, and you know, there's nothing more fantastic as a kid, is there, than flying along in that environment in the open air on the front of a bike someone else is cycling. I used to be in the cab of a tractor with him, hurtling around a farm. Magical experiences. And yeah, I can remember long weekends of just feeling so happy and so free. You know, my dad made what was a mundane job and a need to do thing a magical memory, you know, no getting away from it. Then there was that Sunday night feeling of I changed the camera angle here because it's just so beautiful to my side. That Sunday night feeling, a bath at 7 o'clock, the sound of Heidi High or To the Manor Born starting on television. Those signs that the magic of the weekend was over and the grueling duty of school awaited the next day, you know. And by grueling duty, I used to cry every morning before school. I hated it. It's 10 years of my life that were a living nightmare. Really was that much of a horrible experience for me, school. It's never cut out for the regimented world, just not by nature. It's not something that's a sort of huge thing that I've adopted later in life. I was just never cut out for any of it. But yeah, seeing people sort of abusing a beautiful little area like that, even in a small way, that can be cleared up, that can be mended, put right. It's still just that interference that reminds you, like that Sunday night feeling that it's going to be Monday soon. The shit that really gets you down is still out there. It's not gone anywhere, it's just on hold for 2 days, you know. And with a beautiful area like that, it's on hold every so often, where it maintains a complete and utter seclusion and beauty. But every so often something comes along and that just reminds you we're all still here. We're all those people who are the bullies and egotists who destroy the peace of the gentle caring, as Crass put it back at the beginning of the 1980s. It's I wouldn't necessarily put myself among the number of the gentle caring. For reasons that I've gone on about many times in the past during this vlog. I'm not going to kind of character assassinate myself over stuff you've heard a million times before, but yeah, Sunday night, eh? Every time you have a nice experience in life, you know, I guess it's that gives it its worth, you know, and it gives you that sense that it's not forever, you know, and I guess we need that. We need the dark to sort of appreciate the light and everything, you know, of that nature. And I guess that's it, isn't it? I just maybe because of the kind of person I am, I just see too much darkness. I really hope there's a way out of this and I find a brighter light in the world soon, because life's tough at the moment. It really is. It's hard. It still has its beauty and its reminders, don't get me wrong, but I could never say at this point in my life that I'm having a good time. I really couldn't. You know what it boils down to, like millions of others around the world on a day-to-day basis, this last couple of years have been very hard for me, very, very hard, and whatever kind of light that appears at the end of the tunnel is a brief and fleeting thing. And I'm not going to have people patronising me and telling me life's about, you know, extremes and, you know, it gets better, it gets worse, because at this point in time any kind of control I have over my security is not in my hands, you know. It's awful being at the mercy of so many other institutions and individuals and what have you in life, and sometimes, as much as people will try and tell you you are completely in charge of your own destiny, sometimes you just are not. There's so much trite BS in the world that spiritual wannabes will try and tell you that you can take control. You know, I've seen people who have a certain outlook in life saying that you can live off grid. I just think, yeah, you can live off grid and have nothing to do with this system as long as you've got the money to do so. I wouldn't want to do that anyway. I like this world. I like the aspects of the system that I benefit from. You know, it's great to be able to, in this sort of state of mind that I've been in, I've had a few stumbles again recently, to be able to do things like use a PlayStation, to be able to use a tablet to stay in touch with my daughter. I'm a product of this century. You know, I'm not going to pretend that somehow I was born in a time that doesn't offer all this. And I'm never ever going to be feeling guilty for the fact that I live in 2020 and I enjoy the trinkets of this time, the technological breakthroughs that have made our lives so much better. I'm not going to suggest that they don't improve my life and that I feel any guilt for using them. There's so many people out there who will have you believe that by design a bread knife is a weapon, when it only becomes a weapon if you choose it to be so. And that's the same with all of the technological breakthroughs in the world. You can see them as negative, you can see them as intrusive, but that is your choice of who is around you, how they choose to use things, how you choose to use things, because on face value, from a PlayStation to a whisk, an electric whisk, to a high-speed internet connection, It's all how you use it. It's not instantly dangerous just by design. It's how it's used, and it's not instantly negative, because the internet at this point in my life is all I have. It's my one connection. You know, so things have come along to teach me lessons a lot recently, thanks to the internet. My daughter at the moment has a habit of, you know, about sort of 7-8 o'clock I sometimes come for a walk in this park, and my daughter will get me, my sister and my mum and dad together in a group chat via Skype or what have you, and then just disappear. And a couple of nights running I've just been with my mum, my dad and my sister wandering around this park. And you know, there are times where I have issues with family and the like, but thanks to my daughter and her butterfly mind, her insistence that she has everybody together. She's always wanted that since she was a baby. She's always wanted whoever's in the house to be together, you know. And yeah, she's got us together on at least 2 occasions recently where we've ended up talking to each other, not against our will or anything, but it was the last thing we ever saw ourselves doing. And yeah, it just goes to prove that this technology is what you make of it. And you know, yeah, enough said about that really. I'm fully aware of the privilege that we all have in the Western world, and I'm fully aware of the fact that people feel that comparison is a valid tool in reminding people with mental issues that it could be a lot worse. You know, we've got a lot of ground to cover with regards to marrying the mental with the physical with regards to illness. When somebody can't walk for 12 weeks because of a severe fracture in their leg, people wouldn't dream of saying, just walk quicker. It could be a lot worse. And the breakages in the mind can be as ongoing and as permanent as any physical injury. And I can't believe in 2020 that I'm having to remind myself and even say that to people in the world. Comparisons do nothing for anybody. Listening is the most important commodity that we can share socially with regards to people and their mental health issues. Just think of the starving children. It might work with a situation where somebody's trying to teach a kid the value of food, but when it comes to mental health issues, the individual is just all that matters. And comparison will only remind a person who's already very, very aware that they don't fit in. They don't gain joy from the same things that are out there for other people that they seem to enjoy as default. We're fully aware of the fact that we're different, all of us, but reminding a person, it's out there are things out there for you. If you've got to a point in life where you've tried it all, you've tried so many things and it doesn't fit, it doesn't suit you, yeah. Those of us with mental health issues are very aware of the fact that we're different, and reminding us on a constant basis and saying it could be worse is helping nobody. Why do I do this? Why do I speak to you guys in this fashion? It's because at this point in my life it's all there is. Everything that I have had and everything that I have gained, which gave me focus and love and friendship, has come to pass, and I am in no fit state to be out socialising and meeting people. I don't even know myself at this point in time, and I know I'm not alone. So why do I do this? I hope that maybe people do come across what I've got to say and recognise a kind of universality to it. Hopefully just once every so often somebody recognises where I am, what I'm saying, and sees a little bit of respite and a little bit of understanding, because you know, the truth of the situation is there are people out there who've got absolutely no one and nothing to talk to, confide in, all of it. And you know, I just think that it's important to have with a a utility like this, the information that's out there of people who are going through what you might be facing at any given time. Voices that are so idiosyncratic and so unique to their own experiences, but there are flashes of recognition. You know, I know when I see people talking openly about mental health issues, and I search it regularly, and you know, within seconds a video can turn you on or turn you off. Somebody starts and you think from the thumbnail this is going to be sincere and it's going to be deep, and you're hit with Hollywood intro. I'm Dr. So-and-so and so-and-so. The picture on the thumbnail of the video is a stock picture of somebody holding their head in their hands. It looks very convincingly real. And you discover the first 30 seconds of the video somebody sharing their credentials, forcing their credibility down your throat, and then reminding you that they'd like you to comment, rate and subscribe and all of that complete and utter egotistical, money-grabbing nonsense. I just hope to offer something to the world that kind of says, here you go, no frills, no bullshit. I feel broken, and see if what I've got to say you recognise any of it, and maybe realise you're not alone in it all, because I know I'm not. But I've yet to find anyone even close to doing and saying what I've got to say. I'm not lauding it, I'm not saying it's amazing, just telling the truth. I don't see people doing what I do. And ironically, I think there could be a market out there for a guy like me, but I'm not about self-promotion. I'm about things in life coming along because they were just meant to. The whole concept of tricking people into seeing what you've got to say. If they're meant to find you, they'll find you. God bless. Loads of love.